Good.
Antonio, I'm sure there was a lot of soul searching going on this morning in the building. I heard about a players-only meeting type thing and some meetings that were going on today. What do you feel like the message needs to be today?
Oh, we just got a correction. Very direct. Just it is what it is, and that's what we're going to do. Call a spade a spade.
Coach, you've had some time to reflect on the game yesterday and first loss in that kind of fashion since you've been coach. What did you learn from that? And looking back, was there anything you felt like, you could have done better or learned from, in this experience?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. We ID there could be a slip up in a game like this where you have high of a highs against the Ravens and you come out against a team that everybody's expecting you to beat. So we discussed that. We talked about the physicality. We talked about Andy Dalton and his efficiency, getting the ball out quick, understanding the offense. Just kind of looking back, I think all of us, myself, the staff, it's just got to be better. It's got to be better.
AP, after the game, you talked about the Raiders having to make business decisions. And have you made any of those yet?
No, we haven't. Got to give it to the players first.
Obviously, a lot was made of that comment, national media-wise this morning. I guess as you think about it, are you happy that you pointed it out? And
I don't bite my tongue.
That's something that, when it comes to making business decisions on the coaching staff's part, is that something where it's lineup changes? Is it potentially guys?
Just whatever helps the Raiders win. And right now, that performance is not going to help any team win, let alone the Raiders.
Antonio, over the last 4 games last year, Zamir ran. He led the NFL in rushing and rushing yards per carry.
Yeah.
I know that there was a scheme change. There was an offensive, coaching change. Do you feel like maybe it needs to get back to what you were doing last year? Because there was success last year.
No, it was. We did. And last year's last year. We are where we are now, worst running teams in football. And that's not something I'm proud of. Our staff is not proud of it. I'm sure our team is not. And again, we're going to get in here and we're going to chip away after we make the corrections from today and be honest with one another. But it's very disappointing to watch our run game.
Do you feel like there's some scheme changes that can?
I think there's going to be a lot of changes.
That including personnel?
Like I always say, everything. We just need to be successful, man. Right now, I think yesterday we had a run of 6 and a run of 9. Everything else was 2 and 3. You're not going to win a National Football League like that.
Any updates on Epster and Munford?
No, I haven't got them. We've been just got out of meetings right now.
you've consistently talked since you came here about avoiding the roller coaster, not riding that roller coaster week to week, and it's kind of been a roller coaster. I mean, how do you turn what you want into seeing that on the field?
Yeah, it's collective. It's just not myself speaking on it. It's not the coaches. It's the players. It's everybody. We have to do it. We have to buy in. It's one of those games when you watch it. We got beat up on physically. We weren't the more physical team yesterday. We didn't look like the team that wanted it more yesterday, and that's got to be a message that we rally around and we really take pride in. And you're going to have times where sometimes your best players don't have their best days, and other guys got to step up, and that's why it's called team football. I think more importantly, all of us need to just understand, like, you got to roll. You need to do it the best you can do it at full speed. The effort wasn't up to par. It had been in previous games. That showed up. That didn't look good at the end of the game. So those are examples.
We're talking about a performance yesterday that obviously nobody was happy with, but there's been some that have been great, like outstanding along the way. I guess if you identified anything, like going into those games, preparation-wise.
No, listen, we talked about the opportunity here to be 2-1 at home. The crowd was amazing, like freaking amazing yesterday. Loud, rowdy, felt a little bit old school, but we didn't come to play. You can see that, the very first series defensively. They went right down the field, and then offensively it wasn't pretty. And that just kind of, led up to, now, okay, did we press a little bit? Did we stress? Did we not do a good enough job of, reiterating, our musts, the goals, the objectives, and then just kind of we always talk about resetting, after each series. And I think sometimes we let a play or a series linger, and I saw that at halftime, and we try to adjust that then. But, the roller coaster, it's an emotional game. It's human nature that plays an element of that, and we just got to control those elements.
Jackson playing right guard, alternating a little bit with Dylan. Is that kind of the plan moving forward, or is because we saw him at left guard, previously? Is there where you feel he's better at, I guess.
No, we're trying to get him on the field, and that might be a one-time deal. It might be going forward, but just trying to get him on the field, and again, trying to find the best 5 offensive linemen with continuity and chemistry, and obviously protect the quarterback and run the football.
AP, I know that you want ball control, you want to eliminate turnovers, but Al Davis talked about Raiders don't take what the defense gives you, they take what they want. Would you, in that scheme of still being protective of the football, does your offense need to attack more?
I mean, we took shots yesterday, right? We hit 11 early in the game, backed up, great drive there, 97-yarder. That got us down, and then obviously we scored with that big play with Trey Tucker. Then we had some plays down the field in red zone. And then we took another shot later on. And then, there's other opportunities where, for whatever reason, it wasn't taken, either a breakdown or, a sack, or, we missed the read, whatever it could be. We didn't get those other opportunities. But, we felt like, yes, it was a great opportunity for to take shots. We threw 2 of them. We'd like to have more.
Tony, how much of a factor is Max not being close to 100% with that ankle having on the rest of the defense? Because it seemed like everybody kind of played down a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, our effort, our energy, our passion did not show up yesterday. And that just can't always be 98. I mean, we obviously, what 98's dealing with. You see it. He gave it all he had yesterday, and we got to protect the player. But more importantly, there's 10 other guys on the field. They got to play to a high level. And we did that last week against Baltimore. Those guys did do that. We just got to be consistently doing it. And we didn't play bad because Max wasn't like Max yesterday, right? Max is still at 80% a lot better than any defensive end in the National Football League. So I think just for all of us, it's just doing our job, not getting frustrated with, a play or two here and letting that go. That really showed up yesterday for our group.
You talked in the past about saving Max from Max. Is that a thought in your head about his status this week and playing him or not, or not really?
No, I mean, the thought was to play him. If he was able to play him. If he's injured, then we'll protect the player. But Max he's different, man. He's a guy that's going to take everything, and the God-given ability to not allow him to play. And if he has anything that he feels like he can do, we'll let him play. But I think the biggest thing, man, is just, we got some guys nicked up on the D-line, right? Malcolm, Tyree, and then Max. And, you got your captain, your leader that wants to be out there with his players. So we got to look at that going forward of how we want to handle it.
You said you haven't spoken to the players yet, but how do you expect them to react to the business decisions comment from you yesterday?
No, it's football, right? After a loss like that, things need to change.
Yesterday, because Thayer Murphy got hurt so early, DJ Glaze pretty much played the whole game. What did you think about his performance overall?
I thought he did well. I thought he had a tough matchup there with Clowney. Clowney had some power rush moves on him, but for the most part, coming in there, he had limited reps throughout the week, but it was just kind of what we saw in training camp for the guys that were there. Came in, he filled in, and we'll see what's going on with Mumford. And if DJ's there, we're not panicking because for the most part, DJ showed up yesterday.
I know we don't know how long Marcus Epps might be out, but how confident are you in Isaiah Pola-Mao stepping in and filling in?
Yeah, I mean, he's played a lot for us. That third safety had some rotational roles in years past and dime. But now he's in his 3rd year. We were really comfortable with him. He had a really good preseason. Stepped up yesterday, did a decent job filling in. So we'll see what happens with the Epps here. And then if it's Isaiah, obviously we feel really comfortable with him.
There was some national media. They're trying to decipher who the business decision's about, and they're showing plays with Jack Jones. Did you, in particular, have any problem with Jack Jones's effort in the game? Since
I had a problem with our entire defense and the effort.
After watching the film, anything jump out as far as Gardner and the passing offense that you saw on the film?
Yeah, I mean, there's some plays that I know. Obviously, we always say, you want to make and take advantage of. But I thought we did do some good things. The problem is, when you don't win on early downs, these longer 3rd downs that's not in the best interest of our offense and Gardner. So we got to do a better job on early downs and make it easier for him on 3rd down.
What did you see from Aiden in his limited spot duty there? I know you talked yesterday about just giving him a shot to see what he can do, but is there any chance whatsoever that gives you pause going forward?
Well, I just think, you look at how the game went. We're down by 2 scores or so. Let Aiden come in and see what he can do with the offense, move it. We're just trying to look for a spark.
Could that mean anything going forward, or is it still Gardner still the guy?
I think we got to give it to the players and just evaluate everything from yesterday first.
That's good. All right.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, AP.
Thanks, Coach.
Christian, you've been around a long time. You're new to this team, but you're a leader. What were your thoughts on the performance of your team yesterday?
It was definitely disappointing, I'll say, just, home opener. I felt like we put in a good week of prep and, we didn't get the result we wanted, and I don't feel like we played to our best abilities, of course. So obviously just disappointing. But, being in this league, you got to be able to have the 24-hour rule. Watch the tape. We'll go over it today. We'll review it. And then, around 4 o'clock today, we'll be all focused and all business on the Browns. So that's the approach we got to take, and just really learn from it and watch the game with critical eyes. And each person has to look inward. You know what I'm saying? When you win, lose, or draw, you got to do that. And so you want to be able to get the result you want each week. So we're gonna have to do that moving forward.
Christian, Antonio, said last night that he's got a major play about some players made some business decisions as that game went on. That's basically questions somebody's effort, and coaches don't normally do that publicly. How does that sit well or land, with the players, or him being who he is their respect?
Yeah, well, as far as that, we'll I'm sure Coach will address that with the team, and we'll talk about whatever he meant by that. And so that's, I'm sure he'll handle that with the team. So.
You talked about watching with a critical eye. You've been around the league a while. How tough is it to watch that back? Like, knowing you don't want to watch it, you probably don't want to see what happened.
Well, if you want to get better and if you want to improve as individuals and ultimately as a team, then you got to watch it with a critical eye. Being grown men about it. This is a grown man's business. This is professional football. So you got to, that's the only way you can improve. Watch it, be critical, understand what your job is, understand what you have to do better moving forward, because this isn't the time to, to get upset or shy away from it. This is the time to embrace those things, because anything worth having is worth fighting for. You know what I mean? So you got to, as tough as it is after a loss or after a bad game, you got to take it on the chin. You know what I mean? And just suck it up and, and just be better moving forward.
You're new here, but you've been here for a while now throughout OTA's offseason. Where's that line as somebody that's new to the building of speaking up, being able to look a teammate in the eye and say, hey, this is how we need to be?
Well, yeah, you definitely build relationships with guys and you build a certain level of respect, but leadership is leadership, and it can come from anywhere. Doesn't matter who's been here for how long or how long you've been in the league. If you're working hard and doing all the right things and holding yourself to a high standard, it's you should be able to bring guys along. And so, we're counting on our leaders now, especially after a tough game, to be more leaders, and we're counting on their leadership to really carry us through, and will carry us through the whole season. So through all the ups and downs.
Is it important after a game like yesterday to nip that at the bud with those types of conversations?
Yeah, I would say so. But leadership is always important, and and having those things and always encouraging guys to improve, and you always want to definitely have that at the forefront.
What were they doing that was giving you guys trouble?
Sorry, say that again.
What were they doing that was giving you guys trouble offensively?
Definitely a lot of respect to them. I feel like they had a good game plan. They executed. They came out with a lot of energy, a lot of juice. Obviously with Dalton, starting for them and everything like that. And we just really weren't able to get our footing. And again, we'll watch the tape more together as a team to really understand and see what they kind of did to be able to improve. But I'll ultimately understand what they did more so once we watch the tape as a team and as a unit.
Well, you've only been here a couple weeks, but you've seen it a little bit the last 2 weeks. Antonio's talked about the last few years. There's been unbelievable performances and then bad performances, and you got to stop the roller coaster. I guess, how do you turn that from wanting to do that to actually putting that into play to find consistency?
Yeah, that's really what it's all about. Just being consistent through through all things, through the good, the bad, the ugly. Just remaining consistent. And even when things don't go your way or do go your way, never get too high, never get too low as a team and as individuals. And, that's really the best way to be able to move forward, and just remain consistent throughout the course of the year. Because that is, again, the NFL. There's going to be good weeks, there's going to be bad weeks, there's going to be good plays, bad plays. So just remaining consistent, level-headed through it all.
You mentioned the Panthers' energy and juice. Were you surprised that you guys weren't able to get that same energy and juice that you normally do?
I mean, again, like I said earlier, just obviously disappointing, just how yesterday went, obviously, and we'll be better moving forward. And like I've said before, I got a lot of faith in this team, a lot of faith in our leaders, a lot of faith in the coaches and our schemes and things like that. So, and I know we will be better moving forward. We just got to make the decision each and every day.
Very small, minute victory, but obviously you got your first sack yesterday as a Raider. Can you just talk about that experience and what the crowd was like, and also how that is encouraging moving forward?
Yeah, definitely was good. You always want to get the first one on the board and everything like that, and hopefully, they'll come in bunches. But ultimately, I'd just like to be able to do whatever it takes to win. I'm not really, and I'm not just saying this, but I'm not really a stat guy per se. I'm always just about doing whatever it takes for the team to win. So that's always been my approach, really, my whole professional career. And I just want to be able to make a difference every time I'm out there on the field, whatever that means and whatever that takes.
No, guys are never really 100% during the season, but as a defensive line, dealing with a lot of injuries between yourself, Max, Malcolm, Tyree. I mean, what does it take to work around that?
Yeah, again, that's the game. Injuries are a part of the game. Things happen, but when really just other guys have to improve and step up when there's bang-ups, when there's injuries and things like that. But there's no excuses to be made. If you're dressing in uniform, you got a job to do, and we all work. We all get coached the same way. We all get coached the same techniques and all that different stuff. So we definitely got to, so there's it doesn't matter who's out there ultimately. You got to do your job, and if you're out there, you got to go and perform at a high level.
You're probably not quite into planning for next week yet, but the Browns are really beat up on the offensive line, probably some inexperienced guys. Is there a key just in general when you're playing an inexperienced guy to get on them early, not let them settle in, that kind of thing, especially when they're going to be playing on the road?
Yeah, to your point, we'll look at the tape and look at their team and kind of what they have going on in the upcoming days, starting today. So we'll see what they're all about and come up with a effective game plan to and try to get the result we want on Sunday.
Pierce mentioned it's like kind of a roller coaster ride. Does it feel like that as a player this first 3 weeks, kind of the ups and downs so far?
Again, personally, I don't necessarily feel that. You just gotta, again, because I try to do a good job of just staying even keel through it all, and that's what I'll encourage a lot of my teammates to do. Never overreact. Especially even after tough losses or tough situations or bad games, bad plays, whatever. And even when you have a great game, great plays, don't get too excited. Because again, that's just how this game goes. It's very humbling either way. So you just got to always just stay even keel throughout it all. And yeah, it's a roller coaster, but ride it. Have your hands up and take it in stride and have fun with this thing.
Christian, you just discussed being level-headed. What helps you in these types of situations, and what you already talked a little bit about what you're going to express to the younger kids out there, but being a veteran, what helps you during these types?
Yeah, again, just my experience, because just my experience in seeing how the league goes, and also just the amount of work I know we put in already as a team since OTAs, and the guys we got in our locker room, and again the coaches. So that gives me a lot of confidence. And every season's weird, every season's different, but you're gonna have to go through things, to ultimately be the team you want to be. The path to success is never really easy. So if we want certain things, we want to achieve certain things, there's going to have to be tough lessons and tough things along the way. It's unfortunate, but that's just part of, trying to achieve a great goal.
Are you really a hands up on the roller coaster guy?
Absolutely, yelling, screaming. I'm enjoying the best 45 seconds, a minute of my life. So, hands up, having fun with it, with a smile, and just take things as they come. All of it, every loop, every turn, every twist. So yeah. All right, appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.